Good afternoon and welcome back to the Perkins Garages YouTube channel for a Ford Puma ST Line X walk around video. But like always, before we get started, if you haven't already, click on that subscribe button and that way you'll be in tune with all of our latest content. This here is a rather beautiful magnetic grey Ford Puma ST Line X featuring the 1 litre EcoBoost engine producing 125 PS of power. That 125 PS of power is then transmitted through the front wheels through a 7-speed automatic gearbox. The vehicle itself is on just over 40,000 miles, but like always, I'll get the exact number once we're on the dashboard in a moment. So we're going to begin, like always, at the near side front bumper. Then I'm going to present to you the remote central locking key in all of its beauty, like so. Next up, clicking the unlock button is going to wake up the daytime running lamps. Yes, the bit that appear to be flashing at you at the moment, that is simply because of the frequency in which my camera records at. But they're a solid LED pattern that give other road users the ultimate visibility, meaning you're always going to be seen on the road. Coming south of that, we do have the LED front fog lights as well. And making ourselves around the front bumper, we do have that little dull bit just underneath the number plate there, which is a front-facing radar, responsible for some of the driver assistance pack, which I shall cover once we're inside the vehicle. Look how nice that gloss black grille looks as well. Really does aid that two-way colour scheme of this vehicle. So we have the gloss black wheels, the black grille, black trims, and obviously the magnetic grey body colour. Now we're down to these beautiful 18-inch machine cut alloy wheels. So as I previously said, we've got the gloss black just behind with the bare metal cut at the front. These really are a beautiful, beautiful alloy wheel. I've left the tyres ajar just to show you down the cross reference to show you how much tread is left on them, and they look like they've just been replaced. So you've got some fantastic good condition tyres there as well. Drawing your attention to the windscreen because we have a couple of sensors, 4 in fact, to talk about. That one there, that little dome at the bottom, is a light sensor, so as the sun goes down and the moon comes up, your lights will come on automatically. Further north of the windscreen there, the bit that's currently in your shadow, hold on, there we go. That long one at the bottom there is a traffic speed sign recognition camera. This can be used in coordination with the intelligent speed limiter, meaning that when your speed limiter is set and you drive past a differing speed sign, your limiter will change automatically. Top left is a light sensor for the auto high beam, and top right is a rain sensor for the rain sensing wipers. Bringing you back down to the body, we're going to start to move ourselves around. Power folding and heated door mirrors appear. Beautiful. And again, with that two-way colour scheme, we have rear privacy glass, which you guessed it, travels all the way around the rear windows. At this stage of the video, I take a step back on the offside rear and just gently rock the camera down the body there, hopefully displaying how beautiful all these body panels are. Like so. Now going round and showing you the offside rear again, another beautiful 18-inch alloy. The rear tyres have the Continental Eco Contact 6Q tyres on them, so some very good tyres on there already. Moving ourselves around the rear parking sensors feature, gives you a rear pilot system, so help you with your parking. We'll have a look inside the boot in just a second, but before we do, we're just going to give the near side the exact same treatment as we did the offside. So again, starting off nice and high, just going to gently rock the camera down the body of the vehicle. Like so. Wonderful. Now the near side rear. Again, give you a good look at that alloy. All these alloys in really good condition. Continental tyre again on the near side rear. Now we're going to follow that all the way down to near side front. There we are. Another lovely, great condition tyre there as well. Okay, so that is the exterior taken care of. Should we now have a look inside the boot? So unlocking the vehicle, we do have the little pressure pad just in the middle there. That exposes the very nicely volume rear boot space. So the tornado cover is built into the rear window, so as you open and shut the boot, it doesn't get in your way and you don't have to move it every time, which is a really nice feature. To the right hand side of the boot there is a 12-volt socket and also a little peg there to hook your shopping on, so you don't get your tins of beans or wine rolling across the boot. If you did need even more space, underneath the boot liner here is the Ford Mega Box storage system. So it's 70 kilos max capacity there. We have a little drain plug at the bottom there. So whether you're storing wellies or an umbrella or even washing your muddy dog after a long walk. There's so many possibilities for that. And it's again a really nice little boot liner system. So if you bring it up to the higher position, it obviously lowers the volume of the boot but reduces the distance you have to travel to load in those heavier objects. But again, if you did need the higher capacity, just pop that down like so, and again you've got a nice large boot once again. So continuing now, so that is the boot taken care of. Let's have a look inside the rear. So on the rear door cards there we have a hard wearing plastic leading into a synthetic leather and the corresponding window switch for the corresponding window. Spin the camera around now to show you the rear seats. So again, it's this lovely synthetic leather with a cloth section in the lower back and base part of the seat. And being an ST line, we have the wonderful red stitching all the way through. That continues in the floor mats like so. Again, I do apologise, that is my muddy boot mark. I'm very sorry. I'm going to go hoover this straight after this video. I'm sorry, I forgot. Anyway, so apart from my boot mark there, we have some wonderful ISO fixing seats either side. So if you do carry those smaller humans of the world, you can clip them in, keeping them nice and safe in transit. Continuing now into the front of the vehicle, and this is where the spec starts to happen. Right, so again we have that nice synthetic leather leading into synthetic leather armrest. We've got all 4 window controls with folding mirrors, window lock and electric mirror adjustment just there. Nice ST line badging all the way along that door sill there. And we also have a manually adjustable seat, so a rear tilt is at the back, a height adjustment, front tilt, and the forward and backwards is done on the conventional rail underneath. Now I'm just going to jump inside the vehicle. You may hear a little bit of distortion on my microphone, so please just bear with me for a moment. Okay, right, so this is the digital driver display, and look how marvellous that looks when it wakes up. So whilst we're here, the exact mileage is 40,752.4. So to the left hand side of the steering wheel we have a lovely engine start stop button. So as you can see, when you pop your foot on the brake, the light goes green. One tap of that and that will turn the vehicle on. So, whoa, hello. Hello, I do apologise about that. That just scared me more than I think it scared you. So, the radio, very crisp audio system, we'll come back to that in a second. And we're going to dive into this digital driver display to begin with. So just what I'll show you, I'm going to be controlling it using the return, OK up and down, a menu button on the right hand side of the steering wheel. So to begin, we're in normal drive mode, so presented by this beautiful dark blue screen. And from left to right we have a coolant temperature sensor, we have a digital speedo in the middle there, or the left hand side, and that's you can see the analog style around the outside. At the bottom we have the odometer, we have the gear select indicator, ambient air temperature, and the digital readout for the fuel gauge with the bar graph on the furthest right next to the handbrake warning sign and seatbelt warning. In the middle there is a tachometer, RPM gauge, so that counts the revolutions of the crankshaft times 1000, also known as the output power of the engine. Now this middle section here, if I was to expand that using the menu button, we can then select screens, whether you'd like to see a calm screen, fuel economy, chip computer 1 or 2, traffic signs, eco behaviour, tyre pressure, seat belts, average speed and auto stop start there. So you can really customise what you'd like to see on the screen. I believe you can have up to 7 screens selected at once, so whatever takes your fancy when you come out of there. For example, that's the calm screen. You go down to fuel economy, and chip computer there as well, live tyre pressures, calm screen, so it's all going on. So it's a really nice little display there with all the essential information in the middle. Now we do have a couple of little goodies on this screen, such as selectable drive modes. So I was to click the button, we have a normal, we have an eco, we have a sport, slippery and trail at the end there as well. But whatever mode you go into, for example, let's go into something different. Let's go to trail, for example. So first off, you can see the traction control has been disabled, and we go to this lovely like dark green browny screen there, setting your trail experience. And you can see the dials have all changed as well. So not only does it affect the transmission control module and things such as the traction control, but you also get the aesthetic to match on the screen like so, which I think is a really nice feature. Whilst we're here and looking at the screen, this vehicle does have cruise control. So if I was to take it off a standby, you then see the set speed at the bottom left there. So if you were driving and do set your speed, this is where you'll see your miles per hour displayed. Same applies with the speed limiter as well. So this is what I mentioned earlier. As you can see, the 5 miles per hour has kind of been highlighted there, and it's then leading you into your speed limiter. But this can be changed, and I shall show you in a minute. Whilst we're also here, I'm just going to take you back into the menu. I'm going to come all the way down to settings, and then we're going to go into the driver assistance. So the driver assistance pack on this vehicle features the wrong way alert, driver alert, lane keeping system. We have the pre-collision assist. So these two are going to be using that front facing radar that I previously showed you outside. Then we have a speed limiter. Again, click on that. You can set that to intelligent. Very clever. And rear park pilot. So again, that's going to give you the intermittent beep of the parking sensors. And we also have the traffic signs there as well, and that can give you a speed warning. So if you are worried about your speed and breaking the speed limit, if it recognises you're going over the speed limit displayed, it'll give you a little warning. So that could be a very nice feature. Also, next I'm going to take you down into vehicle just to clarify what I showed you earlier. So we have an alarm system, auto engine off. In lighting, this is where your auto high beam is. We have different lock settings in there as well, so it will beep if you maybe left the door open or whatever, or left the ignition on. In mirrors there, this is where you can see your auto folding mirrors. We have different oil life, passenger airbag settings, and remote start. So remote start is a mobile application, so if you have a smartphone, please, or if you've got to buy the vehicle first of course, then you can download the Ford Pass Connect application. Then you can link your vehicle and your phone together, so when you're sitting there drinking your coffee on those frosty mornings, you can set your climate control and even the duration. There's some very clever technology. This is only available in automatic vehicles, and this being an automatic is a very clever system indeed. Then we're into Windows, and this will feature global open and global close. Hold down the lock button or unlock button and it will either drop or close the windows respectively. Wipers in there, we can see your courtesy wipe, rain sensing, and reverse wiper as well. Reverse wiper is a nice little one. Different chimes, so you can set those. So yeah, fantastic settings to go by, and also got my key there as well. Different display settings, so if you need to, for example, you don't like the tachometer, the RPM gauge, you can disable that. You can change to kilometers an hour nice and quickly. Perfect if you're going over to the continent. And Eco Coach is found at the bottom. Temperature units, tyre pressures there as well, and even the language. So a really lovely screen indeed. Now I'm just going to pop my seat back, otherwise you're just going to see all knees in the next bit. So there we are. So again, I'm going to show you around the steering wheel. So we have a nice, I love the steering wheels in these Puma STs. They're a really nice width, and yeah, very comfortable indeed. That perforated leather makes it nice and breathable as well. So again, the controls for the screen ahead. Below it we have a voice command, a pickup, decline, and previous and next song function. The left hand side will the buttons for the cruise control. So cancel, set speed plus and minus found in the middle. Then we have the standby button, speed limiter bottom right. Then we have volume minus, volume plus, and a mute button there as well. The 7-speed automatic gearbox does come with the flappy paddles, so either side you have your positive and negative, so that will go up and down the gearbox respectively. So, you know, it is a fully automatic vehicle, but it could be considered to be a semi-automatic system if required, which I'm a big fan of. Also, just a quick lesson over here. So this vehicle, again, I've said this earlier, we have the lane keeping system. Some people really aren't a fan of that. This is an Euro regulation to meet NCAP safety rated standards. So all manufacturers, this has to cycle on every ignition. If you don't like that, Ford have put the button at the end of the indicator stalk, so you can turn the lane keeping system off in no time at all. That's a really nice little feature. Now progressing down into the central reservation of the vehicle, in here is a USB-C charging port. So USB-Cs are the rapid chargers, so most new iPhones and smartphones, this is now going to be an EU regulated socket, so no longer, so this will be the input and output of all your new phones coming forward. But yeah, so you have a USB-C down there. This can be used for Apple CarPlay as well as the USB-A that I'm going to show you in a minute. Forward of that, we've got some nice sprung-loaded tension cup holders. So when your coffee's there in the morning, it's not going to go flying out everywhere. Big fan of good quality cup holders. Nice manual handbrake as well, so a lot of vehicles now going over to electronic handbrake, so it's nice to have the original. And some people really don't like electronic handbrakes. They like the peace of mind of hearing the clicks, feeling it apply. So if that is you, that applies. That's the mode button to change the drive mode that I previously showed you. Turn off traction control and turn off automated stop start. But if you don't like this one, pop into sport mode and that disables the auto stop start altogether. Now we have the gear selector for the 7-speed automatic box, so park, reverse, neutral drive and manual found at the bottom. There's a little unlock button here, and you do need your foot brake on as well to change through the gears. So it's a nice little safety system. To the left hand side is a 12-volt socket, and to the right hand side is a USB-A. So this would be the more old school USB, if you like. If your phone supports it, we have a wireless charging pad down there, so place your phone down there and it will wirelessly charge your phone. Hope that made sense. Oh look, you can just see reflections of my arm. That's not very handy, do apologise about that. Heating, ventilation and air conditioning controls, fan speed to the left, temperature control to the right, right for hot, left for cold. At the bottom there is the electronically heated windscreen, so that defrosts it or demists it in no time at all. Different demist functions are to the left hand side with automatic just below. Different flows of vents are found in the middle with recirculation, air conditioning and max AC to the right hand side. Now let's move that camera upwards. This here is a Sync 3.4 module. We have the dark blue band at the bottom, so we know it's the updated Sync 3 module. First up is your audio, and let's take you back to the home page quickly. So this is your home page, if you like. We have a snapshot of the navigation, the radio and your phone connectivity if a phone was connected. So in audio we have various sources such as AM, FM, DAB and Bluetooth audio. Next up is your phone connectivity. This is where you can connect your phone via Bluetooth. And next up is the sync navigation. I use it all the time on my vehicle. It's a very good navigation system. To give you a quick example of that, if you'd like to come to Perkins to look at this Puma, click on the search box. The keyboard will take a second to load, but then it's going to be very responsive. So for example, Charlie Mike 7760 Alpha, like so. Click the search box and that will navigate your route straight here to Perkins in no time at all, just like that. And next up we go to mobile apps. This is where you can add a device or find mobile apps entirely. In the settings page, this is where you can adjust settings for the B&O sound system. So Bang & Olufsen sound system, so we have individual speakers throughout the vehicle. So the tweaker there, we have one in the side there, same on this side. I believe there's I think there's 8 individual B&O speakers. Please don't quote me on that, but I think there's 8 individual speakers here. So the sound system is lovely. I just singing my heart out to a bit of Dancing in the Moonlight a minute ago, so I can speak for experience. So if you're into all this, you can adjust the sound systems to your preference. As you can see, we have all the generic settings there as well. Swipe left, then we can see things such as your Wi-Fi, vehicle settings, automatic update, 4-pass connect like previously mentioned, and Apple CarPlay. So it's supportive of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So this is a CarPlay system where you can plug your phone in using a USB cable, and it shall mirror your smartphone onto this screen here. Obviously the main advantage of that is you're not going to be touching your phone whilst you're driving, which is very important these days, but you still have the features so you can interact with the things on your phone, such as compatible applications. So if you needed to make a phone call, for example, I know you can do this via Bluetooth as well, but I do believe on smartphones where you have a voice assistant such as Google Assistant or Siri, you can click the voice command button on the right hand side of the steering wheel. That activates Siri. You can say, hey Siri, call home. And say, hey Siri, set navigation, what's the football score, what's the weather like tomorrow, anything you like. You can click and use your voice as a command, which is a very nice feature. In addition, there are applications on your mobile which are compatible on the CarPlay, and the main example of this will be navigation. So if you didn't like the sync navigation for whatever reason, I won't be offended. That also gives you the ability to use Apple Maps, Google Maps or Waze, which seems to be the most popular one at this moment in time. So it doesn't restrict you just to one navigation, you've got as many as the screen will support. Before we go, I'm just going to pop the vehicle into reverse just to display that rear park pilot. So as you can see, it gives you the little colourway. So as you get closer to the object behind, that will give you the intermittent beep that will increase in frequency as you get closer to the object in question. And I'll pop it back into a park so I don't forget. And that effectively is this beautiful Ford Puma ST Line X. Up there we do have obviously your interior lights and an SOS button as well if you may need it, followed by this beautiful black headlighting. These are very smart cars indeed. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you found it useful. If you do require information about this vehicle or any other vehicle here at Perkins, please do give us a call, 01376 550 899. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, leave us a nice comment and click the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll be seeing you again real soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.